earner. It is the second largest foreign exchange earner after diaspora remittances. In 1 year, based on what the chairman had said, every week we export an average of 25 million US dollars. So Kenya as a country last year did export 186 billion Kenya shillings from the tea sector. That means that anything affecting the tea exports in this country has very significant negative impact on tea trade. So the reason why we have called for this meeting is because for the last few days, for the last 5 days, the KRA payment system has been down. That means that no tea can be exported out of this country, and therefore it means all the teas that have been bought last week could not be exported out, and this will have serious negative impacts on the auction prices. Buyers buy tea to export them out of the country, and if they buy and do not export, it means the ripple effect that will be felt in this auction will be very adverse, and this will negatively reduce the income of the smallholder farmers. Number two, the scanners at the port. There has been perennial failures of the scanners at the port. Every container must be scanned, and when the scanners are down, it means tea cannot be exported out of this country. And this has serious negative impact on the tea producers and the tea exporters in this country. So it is our appeal to the government that the system challenges caused by the implementation of ICMS should be adequately looked at, because most of the time the ICMS system is down. It therefore means that exporters cannot ship out teas real time from this country, resulting to delays in export, resulting to ships leaving containers from the port of Mombasa. So we appeal that the challenges that exporters have been experiencing through the implementation of ICMS, mapping challenges that have been experienced should be addressed in a timely manner to ensure that we reduce the export cost and increase our export revenue. It is important to note that we, as the association, the East Africa Tea Trade Association, has engaged all the PGAs, the partner government agencies, in one sitting with all the tea exporters in this country, and we raised up quite a number of issues by KPA, by KRA, by Kentrade, by KEFIS, and by Port Health that members believed are negatively impacting export. Quite a number of these issues have not been resolved. It is therefore our appeal that the government should take tea exports in this country seriously. Apart from Kenyan teas, we export teas from our neighboring countries, because this auction sells teas from 10 African countries. It therefore means that our inefficiency at the port of Mombasa will send a wrong signal to our producer member countries that might compel them to look for alternative export ports. We are not an island as a nation, and we believe that we need to protect what we have, and therefore we appeal to government and all the partner government agencies to put their acts together, address all the issues affecting tea export in this country to ensure that the tea trade is not negatively impacted. If we kill the tea trade, the only structured agriculture subsector in this country, it means therefore that millions and millions of families who depend directly and indirectly on tea trade will be negatively impacted economically and socially. Thank you.
Mombasa Tea Auction is the largest tea auction center in the world, with the attraction being availability of tea throughout the year. Unfortunately, if we cannot be able to take this tea to the consumers at the right time, that advantage is lost. In the last few months, or the last 2 years, we had had a lot of challenges in the way we have been trying to ship out these teas. This particularly is a very good time for Europe, because the second last quarter of the year is when we do the heaviest shipments to Europe as we stock up for the winter season. Unfortunately, we are not able to ship these teas. We have just started value-adding teas for Europe, particularly the supermarkets. And if we cannot deliver these teas in time, we risk being blacklisted as an unreliable supplier of value-added teas. These delays come at a time when we are shipping a lot of teas which have been lying in Mombasa. Some stocks which you must have had have been lying in Mombasa, and which some of them have been bought. But if we can't get them out of the way, then it means they'll be found by the fresh teas which are about to come due to the rains. The irony of this disruption is, number one, there is no export taxes on tea. So even if that gate at the port was kept open, there is no revenue loss to the government. So we are urging the government that to facilitate, to make it smooth for us to get the teas out. At the moment, exporters are incurring huge losses. Our teas have been on containers for the last 5 days. We have to incur demurrage costs. We are going to incur transport costs. All these costs will ultimately be borne by the Kenyan farmer because the buyer cannot cushion those costs. We want to load teas in the morning and have them delivered to the port as fast as we can. Otherwise, we are going to slow down buying because there is no guarantee that we'll be able to ship those teas in time. We are all aware that we are having some shipment disruptions because of the Suez Canal. And getting vessels to carry our cargo is becoming a nightmare because they have to go all the way through Durban to go to Europe. So we are getting fewer vessels now. So whenever a vessel comes to Mombasa, we have to quickly get as much cargo as we can so that we are able to get those teas out. But if we keep on now being unable to get those teas to the ships, chances are the ships will stop calling Mombasa port with disastrous effects, because if they don't call, then it means we cannot get the teas out of the way. Thank you.